Surprise! We are back with a third video today after some unexpected breaking news. Mere moments after we had sent out the video film from our live show, the Dallas Cowboys have agreed to terms to re-sign running back Rico Dowdle. His agency tweeting that out, and now getting picked up by other major outlets as well. They sent out this photo, agreed to terms tweet. Kind of went under the radar, by the way, because their initial tweets added Rico Dowdle, so you only saw it if you were following Rico Dowdle like I was. So I happened to luck into seeing that there. Not great timing, but it's news. They did something. We have to break it down for you guys since there's been so little of that so far this offseason. No details on the contracts. I would bet all of my money, cheap one-year deal, with little to no guaranteed money as well. When Cowboys news happens, we have you guys covered, even if that means I got to divert my route home for picking up Olivia and get stuff done for you. Hit that sub button if you haven't already for more free Cowboys YouTube videos. So with the retention of Rico Dowdle, this is the running back depth chart for the Cowboys. I think Dowdle is RB1 for the time being. More on the time being part here in a little bit. Deuce Vaughn is still under contract, and I would, assuming the Dowdle contract is what I think it's going to be, none of these guys are necessarily locked into a roster spot. Dowdle's special teams value does make it, I think, a good chance he ends up making the roster because he could be your RB4. Like, he can bring the value that you want for RB4 in a way that maybe Deuce Vaughn, Snoop Conner can't potentially. Deuce Vaughn will fight for a role. Malik Davis is on the roster, back again after on a futures deal. Hunter Luepke could be a short yardage, fullback hybrid type of player for you. And they did poach Snoop Conner away from the Jags on a futures deal this offseason. No one's guaranteed to be the lead back. If the year ended today, Rico Dowdle, or the year began today, I should say, Rico Dowdle would be that player. He did play a role last year for the Dallas Cowboys. Injuries, being banged up, have always been a potential issue, and at times a big issue for him. But he can catch the ball, he's a solid pass protector, and he'll mostly get what's blocked for you. Relative to some of the other free agents out there, you're in kind of the same ballpark. From that perspective. So a lot more to come on Rico Dowdle, what it means for free agency and the draft, or free agency in quotes, I guess. But give me your one-word reaction to re-signing Rico Dowdle by the Dallas Cowboys. If the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. My one word is fine. This is not a bad sign. Again, I'll make this point, I feel like, every time the Cowboys sign somebody. As an individual move, this is fine. I have no complaints about signing Rico Dowdle. It's a shrewd signing even, right? You're getting a guy could at least be a backup running back for you, who's still young, who's super affordable, who did some positive things for you this past year. It just can't be the only move, It can't be, yes, we have a running back. It's the guy who was our backup last year. That doesn't really work for me. So make no mistake, you still want, need, and I would fully anticipate getting somebody to add to your running back room. This raises your floor a little bit, so to speak. I do not think that this will be the only move. I do not think this team is done adjusting the running back room. It just happens to be, if you ignore the dead money for Zeke Elliott, one of the cheapest running back rooms in the NFL. In fact, I don't think it would necessarily preclude you from signing another veteran back. Now, one name we can take off this list is Alexander Mattison, as in between pushing out the video of the news of the day, or the rumors from our live show, and Rico Dowdle signing, in that 5-minute gap, Alexander Mattison signed with the Las Vegas Raiders. So cross him off your list. I think you'd still go after someone like J.K. Dobbins. Now, you have to vet the injury stuff for J.K. Dobbins. Maybe that's more of a post-draft signing too, because even if you sign Dobbins, you can't trust him. You're kind of treating him as a luxury, so to speak. You want more. Now, maybe the third down backs aren't as intriguing. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Jerick McKinnon, Cordero Patterson, because that Dowdle can do some of that third down back stuff for you. Depending on how your draft goes, if you draft a speedy guy, maybe you're still in the market for a more power back. Deonta Foreman, Damian Harris. I think this does kind of take you, if you were ever even in, I don't really think you were, in the Zeke reunion mindset, because the things that Zeke had done well, that you think Zeke did well previously, Dowdle was actually just as effective in it this past year. Different teams, sure, but the numbers are pretty similar. Maybe you want another gamble stage like J.K. Dobbins, Cam Akers, who's battled a lot of injuries. Rashad Penny's been productive when he's played. He just didn't play last year for Philadelphia. So I think some of those buy low options do still exist for the Cowboys. I wonder if this is even now more likely of a post-draft potential addition, depending on what Dallas does in the draft. More on that momentarily. So will the Cowboys sign another running back? This is not draft, sign somebody. Y for yes, N for no. Go ahead and get those predictions in for me in the comments section. Now, not ranking any of these guys, I would be pretty damn surprised, and it'd probably be a almost, that's how the board fell type of thing, if the Cowboys exited day 2 without a back on their roster, having drafted one. Trey Benson could be there at the top of round 2. I doubt he gets to you in the 3rd round. Jonathan Brooks might go between your picks in round 2 and round 3. Also, do you need an impact running back? Do you want to come off a torn ACL? If you'd signed Zach Moss, could have been more appealing to you, potentially. Braylon Allen is more of that bigger running back. Blake Corum is not the biggest guy, but he kind of runs more of a power back. Bucky Irving didn't test that well, kind of a red flag for me. Will Shipley is a very good athlete. That's an intriguing piece who tends to be kind of more of an early down back, but I think has more pass-catching upside than maybe he was utilized at Clemson. Ray Davis is an awesome story. He is a power back that could fit that mold. Jalen Wright and Marshawn Lloyd are very intriguing pieces to me because of their upside and their athletic ability. They could be 3rd-round picks for you. Audric Estime could, I can't take him in the top 75, not with the lack of speed that he brings, because I got Dowdle. I would like to find more explosiveness. I think of your options, draft free agency, easier to find a power back in free agency and draft a speedy guy and have the power back there for 1 year than to flip those things. Even though you can make arguments that you want to have the less mileage on the power back, but it's a 1-year deal. In theory, you'd be okay. So of the options on your roster, of the options in free agency, and of the options in the NFL draft, who do you want as the Cowboys starting running back? Sound off for me in the comments section. If you have not already, please make sure you guys are subscribed. We'll probably put the pinned comment to the video that came out earlier and vice versa. Timing was just not very good at all for the Rico Dowdle re-signing, but hey, news happens. We'll find a way to cover it. Hit that sub button. You're getting surprise 3 videos today. I didn't plan on that one, but got to do what you got to do. Hit that sub button for me right now.